Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
She claims mom is evil.
You made our lives hell.
A liar.
My mom has faked illnesses.
You're in kidney failure?
That is correct.
And raising her siblings in filth.
There's trash everywhere, bed bugs, roaches.
We want to shoot inside, and you didn't let us in that house. You said, quote, "It's not about housekeeping."
I was never contacted.
We have a crew on the ground so they can go to the house now. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Well, Taylor is here today, and she has emailed the show multiple times about her mother, who she claims is holding her younger siblings hostage in deplorable living conditions filled with filth, feces, garbage, empty pantries, bed bugs, and fleas. Now, Taylor says CPS has been alerted 4 times and that the system is just flat out failing her family. She fears for them because she believes her mother, Susan, is a psychopathic liar and a physical and mental abuser. Now, Taylor says that I've been her hero ever since she began studying psychology, and she says I am her last hope to save her siblings. And I can tell you straight up, I do not intend to let her down.
I would describe my mother as evil. Since I was a child, I have lived in 16 places. My siblings and I have house jumped, we've been evicted, we've been kicked out. I've lived in homeless shelters, I've slept in a car before. My mother would not clean or take care of the house at all. The conditions were horrendous, disgusting, and just outright horrible. The massive filth is still happening now. I'm so concerned about my siblings. This is like an absolutely lovely kitchen, but in my mother's house, it would be a mess. There would be garbage almost piled up to at least to like right here. There would be dirty dishes inside the sink that would be molded and disgusting. Then you can find there'd be bugs crawling across the counter, and there would be gnats and flies and everything inside the fridge. Bedrooms in my mom's house looks absolutely nothing like this. In my mother's house, there's holes in the mattress. There's trash piled up everywhere. There was clutter. There was dog feces, bed bugs, roaches, and spiders. There wasn't even a bed spring. It was just a mattress on the floor. It's been going on for 13, 14 years. It was just like a giant dumpster. The massive filth is still happening now. Social services has been called at least 4 or 5 times. They said the children have running water and they have a roof over their head. So that's okay. I feel like the system has failed my family.
Well, Taylor says that she finally escaped a year and a half ago, but is very concerned about her younger brother and sister's safety. She says she wrote to me to help expose her mom for her lies, which include stealing Taylor's identity.
My mom has faked having a number of illnesses from MS, kidney disorder. It is a complete and utter lie. She loves when people feel sorry for her. When I turned 18, my mom stole my identity, put multiple credit cards in my name. She put the electricity bill in my name. She told me she didn't do it, that wasn't her. My mom put me thousands of dollars in debt. It really pisses me off because I have my own future, and she never thought about that. She only thought about herself. I was finally able to escape my mom a year and a half ago. I'm currently living with my grandmother. My brother and sister are still living with my mom. I am very worried that my mom is holding both of my siblings hostage. They're currently still living in filth and trash. My mom tells my siblings that I do not love them, I don't want to see them. She brainwashes them to make them believe that you're some horrible person. They don't know the truth. I really need Dr. Phil to step in and help me and my siblings to get away from my mother.
Okay, Taylor, I've heard you, we've heard you, we're very concerned. Now, I need to know your personal experience. How did you survive this? What was it like living in this house, living in those conditions that we've seen?
Living in it was honestly one of the hardest things I know I'll ever go through. It's been hard hiding it from so many different people, and no one in my life besides my family really knows about this. So it's been a struggle. It's been like strangling me for years, and then finally getting out, it's been like a breath of fresh air. But at the same time, the fact that my siblings are still there, it's still in the process of strangling me.
Okay, and how did you get out?
Thankfully, my grandma took me in. It was a whole process. My mom actually kicked me out. So I was lucky enough for that to actually happen and move in with my grandma.
And you say that she kicked you out. She says that's not true, that you left. And it was over an Instagram post that she said was just so offensive to her sensibilities that she just couldn't abide it anymore. And let's take a look at this Instagram post. You're writing to your boyfriend.
Yes.
You posted, "I'm so damn lucky to have you in my life, and I honestly don't know what I'd do without you. You're my best friend and the love of my life. I can't wait to adult with you soon. I love you so much. Hashtag MCE, hashtag I love you." And so that's what you had posted.
Yes.
And she was horribly offended by this?
She was overly offended by it. The moment I posted it, she actually called me and she was screaming at me, yelling at me, going crazy about it, saying that I was not allowed in her home anymore, I was not welcome, and that I needed to find somewhere else to stay.
Okay, and so you ultimately agreed to change the post, and I've highlighted the words changed. You changed adult with you to I can't wait to do things like pay bills, buy dorky shower curtains.
Yes.
With you soon. So that was what you changed it to.
Because that's what I meant by it. She took it as something sexual, and that's not what it was at all.
She's okay for you to live in squalor with bacteria and bugs and fleas and feces and no food and this, but she's not okay for you to say, I'm in love with my boyfriend.
She's not okay with me being happy, is what I personally believe is what it is.
You were homeless 3 times.
Yes.
And you lived in a shelter?
Yes.
During those times? And that was difficult for you, right?
That was very difficult. One time it was a homeless shelter, and then 2 times it was one with my grandma, and then one with one of her high school friends. The homeless shelter was really difficult because I just got into 8th grade. I started at a new school, and being homeless and starting at a new school in 8th grade was really difficult.
And you moved 14 times in 14 years, right?
I have moved at least 20 times in total, including the homeless shelters. And
20
being
times
homeless.
in total?
Yes.
You've had to have conversations with her about this, where you said, what's the deal here? How are we living like this? What does she say?
Every time I try to talk to her about it, still to this day, she gets very aggressive, she gets defensive, and she doesn't believe that she's done anything wrong. She blames me and the kids for being homeless. She blames us for it being dirty and it being a mess. And she always goes, well, I'm the parent, you should be cleaning. But she's never had a job. She hasn't had a job for almost 10 years now.
Where's Dad in all of this?
She doesn't want anyone in the house. No one has ever been in the house.
She refused to let us shoot inside the house. She does not know that you've given us these pictures. And later,
I never had the opportunity to heal from that. My main focus was the kids.
How are we a focus in your life when we've never been?
Really?
Yes. The things you have put me through have made me realize what I'm not gonna do.
Where's Dad in all of this?
My biological father, we are starting to have our relationship again, but my brother and sister, their dad passed away 13 years ago due to suicide.
Okay, so 13 years ago, when you would have been 7.
Yes.
5, 6, 7, you're young. they're very young. So they're infants. And he took his own life.
Yes.
And how did he do that?
I believe it was with a gun. My mom actually is the one that found him.
Okay. And at that point, she became a single mother, raising the three of you, which is, let's admit it, that's a very difficult thing to do. But she's not worked in 10 years. She's not home cleaning house.
She never made it easier for us.
Doing?
Normally, she'd be at home, sitting on her phone or doing nothing. She likes to say that she takes us to sporting events, and she considers that being a parent.
Does she ever have anyone come over to the house?
No, she doesn't want anyone in the house. No one has ever been in the house. I haven't been able, ever since I was a kid, to have friends over and stay the night because of that reason.
Well, normally when we get ready to do a story, we ask you a million questions, and we shoot and do interviews and that sort of thing, which includes the environment. We look where people live and we try to get a kind of day in the life, a cross-section of people's lives that we're going to be talking about. She refused to let us shoot inside the house.
I'm not surprised.
And my theory is people who have nothing to hide nothing. Do you think the house is still the way that these pictures look?
I truly believe the house is in the same condition that the other ones have been in. I went and actually visited in May because I went to go pick up my brother and sister to stay the night at my grandma's, and my little sister let me in. Surprisingly, she had the kitchen and the living room clean because I think she knew I was going to try to do that. And I was like, well, let me see your guys' rooms. I went into their rooms and the garbage was just piled up again.
So the pictures that we see here, some of those pictures are from 07. Some of those pictures are from 16.
Yes.
And you've been in the house as recently as May, so it's this year.
Yes.
And it looks just like this.
Yes.
So it's the same way.
The same exact way.
Okay. What does she say about that when you talk to her? She does not know that you've given us these pictures.
She's got no clue that I've given you guys the pictures, but the thing is, she gets defensive. She says, oh, it's not a mess. What are you talking about? There's nothing wrong with it. I was like, do you not see this? And she's like, well, maybe the kids need to clean up their rooms.
Well, this isn't the kitchen. This is a bed. This is where children sleep.
Yes.
This is where people, what do you do when you walk through this? Do you go lean against the wall? What do you, there's nowhere to sit. There's nowhere to lay. What do you do in this house?
The thing is, like, me and my siblings, we mostly just tried to stay in the living room as much as we could, or we'd go outside. I was very into sports my high school career, and so are the kids. So we tried to do our best to stay out of the house, but it's very hard when you have such a controlling mother that doesn't actually let you go outside the house or have friends.
Well, coming up, Taylor is shocked that her mother, Susan, agreed to be here, but she is here. And let me tell you, I'm going to confront her with some very serious questions here. And I'm going to go a while before I reveal to her what we do know, because your theory is as soon as she's outed on this, then she's going to get up and run out of here.
I definitely think so.
But you understand that I'm a mandated reporter.
Yes.
And there's no way I can allow this to continue. I have a member of our advisory board, a very dear friend and colleague of mine, Dr. Charles Sophie, is right here. Dr. Sophie is board certified in 3 clinical specialties: adult psychiatry, child and adolescent psychiatry, and family practice. And he is the medical director for the Department of Child and Family Services here in Los Angeles, which is the largest agency of its kind in the country. And Dr. Sophie, you're going to be involved in all of this very early on here. I mean, we can't let this happen, right?
Those children need somebody to save them.
Something's going to change today, one way or the other. Yep. So you came here to create change. It's going to change today, one way or the other. We can't let this happen. We're going to meet Susan next. We'll be right back.
Taylor's making me sound a lot worse than I really am. She's acting like a 20-year-old who's throwing a temper tantrum. I've had it with being attacked by Taylor. I'm not here to bring up everything in the past. I think it's ridiculous that we have to be here on the Dr. Phil Show.
And later,
This is my journal. Almost all of these pages are filled with the identity theft my mom put me through. She's been putting credit cards in my name since the day I turned 18. If Dr. Phil confronts my mom about all of her lies, I believe that she will get defensive and come up with even more lies to try to cover her other ones. She might storm off the stage. I think that she came here to look like a victim. I am shocked that she's here.
well, Taylor wrote to me very concerned about her younger siblings' living conditions. Now, her mom, Susan, has no idea Taylor provided us with photographs taken inside a couple of her recent homes. In fact, Susan wouldn't even let our camera crews film in her house now, insisting that this is not about her housekeeping, but about her relationship with Taylor. But here's what she told us. Take a look.
My relationship with my daughter Taylor right now is broken and in turmoil. Taylor's making me sound a lot worse than I really am. She's acting like a 20-year-old who's being fed and throwing a temper tantrum. Taylor is not part of our family right now. That's Taylor's decision. I did not kick her out. She told me that she was going to attempt to get a temporary apartment with her boyfriend. I did not approve of the relationship. I do not think she should be having sex with her boyfriend. He's a loser. My husband committed suicide 14 years ago. I had no life insurance. As a single parent, I've made quite a few sacrifices to raise my kids by myself. I think that that's where a lot of it starts, is that suicide. I have devoted literally 14 years of everything that I've had to those kids. I've had some part-time jobs. We have moved around a lot. I've had different health issues. I was first diagnosed with MS. They thought was MS for a couple of years, and then it was migraines. I am taking my one tablet of metoprolol for my blood pressure. I am in stage 3 kidney failure and have to take medicine to control my blood pressure. I take 3 to 4 pills a day, 2 blood pressure and 1 water pill. I've had it with being attacked by Taylor. That is why I separated from them. I do not want the toxic drama in my life. I'm not here to bring up everything in the past. I think it's ridiculous that we have to be here on the Dr. Phil Show to fix this.
Well, Susan, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Tell me why Taylor left the house, why she's not living there now with the other 2 children and with you.
It started in April when someone else had seen an Instagram post that she had posted with her boyfriend that she could not wait to adult with him. My concern is adulting would be that they are living in my house and doing things that they should not be, which then in turn concerned me with my younger 2 kids, and I don't think that that is appropriate.
As a parent, your house is a safe zone with 2 younger children there. You don't want somebody bringing toxicity into the house for them to see bad role model.
Yes, I don't think that it's appropriate if she would be staying with him in my house, having him in my house as in an adult type fashion.
Okay. Had he ever spent the night in your house?
No.
Had he ever been in your house?
No.
Okay. Did you intend for him to come stay in your house?
No, I would never let him in the house.
Why not?
The arguing, the yelling at the kids constantly, how it could be dirty sometimes.
Do you guys yell and scream at each other?
I have not spoken to her in a month. So
Well, before a month.
Yes.
Do you have a combative relationship, the 2 of you?
We did not up until that point.
Is that true?
No, that's not true.
What is true?
The the truth is, me and my mom, we've never gotten along. Never have, probably, I'm afraid never will. She's very controlling. If things don't go her way, she gets very upset. She gets angry. She'll start screaming and yelling. I used to have to be nice to her just in order so I wouldn't get yelled at.
Now, you say that overall, this is a quote, you said, overall, as a single mother, I busted my butt to get these children to where they are today. I did everything I could and put my focus on them.
Yes, that is true.
And I understand you're a single mother because your husband took his own life very early in the children's lives.
Correct.
And I'm sorry for your loss, by the
Thank
way.
you.
That's a terrible thing to have to go through. Do you think you ever got past that?
Honestly, I did not up until about a year ago. I have changed, I have healed. I never had the opportunity to heal from that because of the 3 kids. I literally, that was my main focus, was the kids.
We've been homeless 3 times. How are we a focus when you haven't had a job in over 10 years? Like, in all seriousness, how are we a focus in your life when we've never been?
Really?
Yes.
I think it's interesting that when I was told we were coming here, it was to repair the relationship, that was what the main focus of this was. I had my doubts of coming, to be quite honest. That is why I'm here, is to work on a relationship with Taylor.
Well, that begins with honesty,
right.
and
right.
she thinks you're not being honest with her or about the life that she's lived and that her siblings are living.
Right. I'm going to disagree with that.
Disagree with which?
How she views her childhood. She is successful. She's a good kid. That had to come from somewhere. It didn't just fall out of the sky.
It didn't come from you.
I'm sorry that is,
if anything,
your opinion.
The things you have put me through have made me stronger and realize what I'm not gonna do.
Well, good. I hope that if you're ever, I hope to God that you're never in my situation where your husband would take his life, and everything that has happened to you, I hope that does not happen to you.
But the thing is, you never made it easier on us. You made it 1,000 times worse. I get it. You might have been grieving, but you made our lives hell and are still making hell for those 2 kids. You can't tell me that you've made it easy, because you haven't. You have put us through a living, breathing hell.
You say that she stole your identity and opened up 10 credit cards?
10, maybe more.
Did you hijack your daughter's identity?
No, I did not.
You say that she stole your identity.
Yes.
And opened up, what, 10 credit cards?
10, maybe more.
10, maybe more,
Yes.
credit cards in your name?
Yes, along with a electricity bill as well.
A utility bill and 10 credit cards?
Yes.
You said that you wanted the focus to be on the relationship. Well, then let's talk about the relationship.
Okay.
Did you hijack your daughter's identity?
No, I did not. The
Okay,
electric...
so you didn't open 10 credit cards in her name?
No, I did not. She was aware of the one to start her credit when she was at school. I did the electric bill so she could have a place of residency. You knew that.
Well, now, look, there aren't versions of the truth. Did she or did she not open up credit cards in your name?
Yes, she did.
And they weren't for you. She had the credit cards.
Yes, she had the credit cards the whole time.
We actually have some videotape about that, so let's take a look at that.
This is my journal. Almost all of these pages are filled with the identity theft my mom put me through. I spent my whole summer going through calling people and making sure all of this was taken care of. I've made police reports. As you can see, fraud right there. She's been putting credit cards in my name since the day I turned 18. I think my mom opened up at least 10 credit cards. It was close to $3,000 or $4,000. This document right here, this is one of the credit cards. She tried to pay the electric bill on this one. I wanted to make sure, like 100% that it was her. She went to a local gas station that I know is in her area, a grocery store, and one of her favorite restaurants. I know for a fact this is her. It's been this whole process for almost 2 years now. It's consumed my life. I have to do it to get my name back and recover from what my mom has done.
Well, she seems to have, and she brought along the journal where all of this is documented, the very page where she says fraud here and the amount due and the different credit cards and her conversations with Medicare, all of these things that are documented with dates and times and receipt numbers and all. She seems to have this very well documented that says you did open multiple credit cards in her name.
I did not. I opened 2, and she was aware of those. To start credit.
Mm-hmm. And did you put the utilities in her name?
Yes, I did. Because I was told, because she was going away for school, that she needed proof of residency because she was 18 to continue to get insurance.
Well, you know, this is the energy bill in Taylor's name. The account status says of 10/12/2017, the amount due $999.65. So it was opened in your name. Did it get paid?
They're still in the process of trying to pay it and make sure everything's together. It was originally $1,103, I believe.
Uh-huh. Well, that's months and months old, so yes. That's a black mark on your credit, right?
Yes.
Who was supposed to pay that bill?
She was.
I was.
But
Absolutely.
You didn't pay it?
No, because she had the amount changed and, well, to the address where she is currently living. Uh-huh. And she is still under my insurance, under the Medicaid, under our county, which that is technically fraud.
I'm actually not. I went and changed it last year.
You don't want to mess up your insurance because you have medical problems, right?
That's correct.
You're in stage 3 kidney failure?
That is correct.
Okay. And do you have MS?
No, they thought I did years ago. I ended up having, I don't remember the type of migraines that they are, but they're the migraines where you lose your sight and your feeling in one hand.
I want to take a quick break. When we come back, I have some very serious questions for both of these people because there are some issues afoot here that are really pivotal. And it's time to get real and acknowledge what's going on, or things are going to deteriorate really fast. We'll be right back. She tells me you are being a negligent parent, and she provides us pictures, and then we want to shoot inside the house, and you go, no, no, no.
I was never contacted. About a month ago, my youngest daughter wanted Taylor to take her to her softball practice. Taylor was not happy about it, but did it anyways, and was driving erratically. She'd slammed her brakes on so hard that the back 2 wheels came off the ground. My daughter almost went flying through the windshield. She threw a temper tantrum and put my youngest daughter's life in jeopardy. I was very upset.
Well, Susan says Taylor's driving was so out of control that it almost cost her younger daughter's life. But Taylor says it is her mom that is a compulsive liar who is so delusional that she believes her own lies.
My mom lies about a lot of things. She has lied about her health. She has told people that she has kidney failure. My mom lies about the living conditions. She says that it's clean and that it's always taken care of, but in actuality, there's garbage, there's animal feces, it smells horrible, it's just a mess. She also likes to lie to the kids a lot, says that no one really cares about them. She'll say that the family doesn't care or that I don't care. She says that we want nothing to do with them. She told my little sister that the only reason why I was going to the doctor was because I was planning on getting pregnant, which was obviously a huge lie. She has told people that the kids are doing great in school, which in actuality, they're not doing that well at all. She just lies about anything and everything to get what she wants.
Is that true?
No.
Are you a manipulator?
No. If I was a
Is she
manipulator,
lying about this?
yes. If I was a manipulator, I would not be in the situation that I am.
Well, let me ask you a question here. And I need you to take 2 steps of faith with me.
Okay.
One is that I'm here to help.
Okay.
And the other is to take a hypothetical journey with me. Let's assume you're a house painter.
Oh, gosh.
That's your job. That's what you're there for. You're just there to paint the house. But you get inside the house and you get in the kitchen and there's a fire. There's a fire in one of the walls that you start to paint. You feel it's really hot, and so you pick at it and you go, oh my God, there's a fire inside this wall. What would you do? Would you just paint the wall?
No, I would call 911.
You would do something about it, right?
Correct.
Consider me a house painter. Because when I first looked at this situation, I think, okay, I've got a relationship here between a mother and a daughter. But then I find a big fire burning. And the big fire burning is, she starts telling me that not only are you two arguing and fighting, not only are you, according to her, fraudulently opening credit cards in her name and having a riff over her saying she wants to adult with her boyfriend, but she tells me that you are being a negligent parent with the children and that they are living in an unhealthy environment. And she provides us pictures from 2007, which is over 10 years ago, and then pictures from 2016, which is just 2 years ago, and then reports being there just a few months ago and seeing virtually the same thing. And then we want to shoot inside the house, and you go, no, no, no. She says, this is the house in which her younger brother and sister have been raised in across the years, and that when she visited just a few months ago, her little sister let her in, and there were 2 areas that were reasonable, and the rest of the house looked exactly like this. And in addition to this being a clear violation of any reasonable parenting, that when Child Protective Services has been called, that you've either been given a heads up and they've had to stay up all night cleaning the house, or you've moved county to county to stay 1 step ahead of Child Protective Services, so there's no accountability. And I'm a mandated reporter. And so I immediately confer with a member of my advisory board, Dr. Charles Sophie, right here. Bring a chair up for Dr. Sophie, if you would. He did not know he was going to be here. He's board certified in adult psychiatry, child and adolescent psychiatry, and family practice. And he is the medical director for the Department of Child and Family Services here in Los Angeles, which is the biggest CPS, biggest DCFS in the entire country. So I show him all of this, and he's absolutely appalled and concerned. So he says, well, what did you find? Because I know you always shoot in the homes. And I say, not this one, because she wouldn't let us in the home.
I was never contacted for you guys to let me.
Well, I'll bring the producers out here, because that's not true.
Oh, and yeah.
We attempted to shoot inside the home, and you didn't let us shoot inside the home. And be that as it may, you've been in the home in recent times. What did you see here, Dr. Sophie?
It's deplorable. I mean, no one, not even an animal, should live like that.
That's not our home. That is not where we currently
well, whose pictures are
at.
Aren't they your home?
From years ago.
You didn't let us in that house. If you're going to just lie to me and say, oh no, everything's fine, I will not allow children to live in that environment. I cannot, I will not, he cannot. Were you in a house?
Yes, I was in the house.
The house you're in now?
The house they are in now, yes, I went in.
Do you have pictures of the house that we're in now?
How could I take pictures right in front of you?
No, she was not there in May.
She just said she was.
No.
How can she say one thing, you're always saying the opposite?
Because she's being misguided. That is
By who?
one of the reasons
Who would
why.
misguide her?
I would rather not say because she is not here.
Let me stop you for a second. I want you to take a real deep breath and think about what you're saying right now, because I want you to understand, I'm here to help you. You've watched this show before, right?
Yes.
And you know I'm about family unification, not fragmentation.
Right.
I want children with their parent. Robin and I work in the foster care system. Broken system. Horrible system. I believe that is what your home is like in part now. I believe that. I will get that verified, but I'm going to tell you right now, I believe that. I believe you're not an evil woman. I believe you are a single mother, and I believe that you're doing the best you think you can do, and I think you need help. I'm not trying to ruin your life, I'm trying to help you fix your life.
Okay.
So I'm not here to throw you under the bus, I'm here to pull you out from under the bus. I think you're under the bus now, I'm trying to pull you out from under the bus. But you need to understand in no uncertain terms, I have no intention, to the extent that I have the influence and ability to do so, I will not allow children to live in that environment. I cannot, I will not, he cannot, he will not. So what I want to do is help you fix it. I want to help you change it. I don't want to take your children away from you or from your home, but you need to understand, if it's let them live in that or take them out, I'll do everything I can to take those kids out of that home. I will not allow them to stay there to the extent that I can influence that. What I'd rather do is help you and fix that situation. I'll send a crew in there in space suits if I have to clean that up, but I won't let those kids be there. But if you're going to just lie to me and say, oh no, everything's fine, look, people that have nothing to hide nothing. You didn't let us in that house.
I got a call Thursday morning that we were coming. We were supposed to be on a flight. No one showed up at my house.
Well, the best predictor of future behavior is relevant past behavior. And that's the way the house was in 07. That's the way the house was in 16. She says that's the house was 60 days ago.
It is not. It is not.
So why wouldn't you let us in?
When were you there? I was not there. I left Friday afternoon. I got a call Thursday morning.
Well, the associate producer, Avery, asked if we could shoot at the house, and you said, and I quote, it's not about housekeeping.
No one was at my house.
I didn't say they were.
Oh,
we asked to shoot at the house, and you told the associate producer, it's not about housekeeping, this is about the relationship with her.
I don't recall her even asking me to shoot at the house.
So you would have thrown the doors open and
Yes.
said, come in?
Yes, I would have.
And let's show. So,
Yes, I would
so
have.
they can be there. We have a crew on the ground there now, so they can go to the house and be there and shoot.
Did you get a sense?
Oh my God.
It looks like the floor is actually buckling up from urine from the dogs.
Well, we're out of time for today, but here is a sneak peek at tomorrow's show.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil. She claims her family's house was deplorable.
Holes in the wall, animal feces, and garbage everywhere.
We are getting ready to move out.
I'd move out too if it was like that.
And her two siblings
Why does your mom grab you?
She gets mad at me.
We're going to stop that from happening.
still live with their mom.
We have to protect these children, not just from a toxic environment, but from a toxic parent.
That's tomorrow.
You do not want to miss tomorrow. Taylor's mom may have been denying all of Taylor's allegations, but there's some surprising new information to back up Taylor's story. Plus, a family member goes on the record to get real about Susan's behavior. Find out if Susan is willing to admit to her mistakes and change her ways. And finally, wait until you hear what her younger children have to say. That's all tomorrow. I want to thank all of my guests today, especially Dr. Charles Sophy, the medical director for DCFS here in Los Angeles. For more information about today's show, log on to drphil.com. Tell us what you think on Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you next time.
Memories can kill ya, but I didn't hear ya. I thought that I could fly, but woke up on the asphalt. I swear there was the last time. I've always been naive. Call it. You surround me.